All right, cycle 48, warm Saturday morning. I was reviewing my short film, my animatic, my evolving additions to the film with all the cycles I've added so far, and I'm only going to need 50. Initially, I was thinking I'd need 70, then I was reviewing it as I was going, iterating. It turned out I'd need 57. Now I only need 50, and that's it's filling in the entire film. The music was the very first thing I did, so making it all work to the music was the main part of it. And yeah, if I did up to 57 or 70, all those cycles would just be overkill. They just aren't necessary now. That's the whole point of these cycles, is to make my short film. So this is the third from last one now, 48, 49, 50. I'll have to pick really carefully with my final 3 out of all the sketches that I had done initially. This one though, when I looked at this, it only took me about 30 seconds to realize, yeah, this is what I want to do. Okay, I'm feeling good about this one. So the last cycle, and it's one of those things, you realize you change your mind, you evolve as you do work creatively. At least I do, I think everybody does. This one, if I'd thought of this earlier, I would have done this with so many more of them, but I'll do it with this one and maybe the last 2. I'm going to have it so that my first drawing is a flipped version of the last drawing, but it doesn't need to be symmetrical like I tried last time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this drawing here, I'm going to have the character go over to the left, do something, don't know about that yet, and then the character will put the foot down, flip around, go the other way, and that'll go into the cycle going to screen left. So I'll do 12 drawings, but it'll turn into a 24 drawing cycle because the last frame will be the first frame but flipped, and then I'll just be able to reuse the final 12 drawings, or the 12 drawings to fill in the final 12 out of 24. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see the proof in the pudding when I'm all done here. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work. It gives me twice as much content in a way. And I can't just do it with my existing cycles because I've already got the arcs and the spacing and the timing and the overlap working to go with the single cycle. So to go into a double cycle with the animation flipped is not something you can just tack on later on. It's something that has to be part of the process. So a lot of words. All that being said, I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about in 2 hours. Maybe 2.5, because this is there's an extra thought process on top of this. Aside from this guy's design, which is, moderately challenging, the thinking about how the arcs are going to work going into the next, it shouldn't take much longer, but right now it's all just a mental process without too much practice. So yeah. I'm going to get this done, and we'll see how it all looks in 2 hours. All right, full hour and a half in there. Or 2.5, I should say. 2 hours and restarted for another half an hour. That's about what I expected. A few extra things that were a little bit more. I took 30 minutes for my first 2 drawings. That's always starting a little bit behind the 8 ball there, losing 5 minutes of drawing. So knowing that I'm not going to hit 2 hours takes a little bit of the pressure off. Switching the eyes from side to side, I had to keep that in mind. They're going to start off on the left and then turn over to the right. Part of the solution for that was just getting the eyes up above by putting the nose up, and then I didn't have to worry about switching the eyes over. I'm talking about the eye direction specifically. Because if the eye direction was looking to screen right and then looking to screen left, and the face was showing the whole time, I'd have to do a blink in there. But getting the eyes off screen behind the nose there just negated the need for the blink. I was thinking a lot about this hookup all the way throughout here. And it's not that it took away from the rest of my thought process, but I was definitely always a little bit distracted by that idea of, yeah, I've got to make this work. I've got to make sure that this is going to not just hook up in a circular motion, but hook up going in the opposite direction. So that this one here is going to hook up to this one here, and then keep going in the opposite direction. That was a different thought process. Layering of the hands, especially, also the legs and the tail, but specifically the hands. I was constantly keeping that in mind. I wanted to keep those hands in clear silhouette, which I did for the most part. But then I've got the hand here on screen left that needs to go behind the head and the body there. And it was like, I guess I could have kept that in front, but I just wanted to get it out of the way there. Having this foot, the screen left foot, pushing off the ground there, I figured I'd keep the toe going. But after about 5-6 drawings, I thought, you know what? I'm going to lift that foot up. I'm going to have it push off, and then that's going to lead into the kick up. And bring the foot in and then kick it out, not just do a straight in between, give a nice breakdown there. So that gave it a bit more interest. I hadn't really thought about how I was going to get that foot off the ground, so that worked out okay. This other screen right foot there, just really straight, sticking it out and then coming in here and getting toes down and then squash. I just wanted to get maximum contrast there. Not quite sure how this is going to animate. I've got these curved lines to these straight lines here, but the contrast is nice. I just don't know about the motion. I've got this one drawing here. It's not really even a smear. I was thinking that I was going to make it a smear because I had to get from one drawing to the next, but not at all. Actually, the smear was the drawing before, the hands and the feet there. Okay, well, let's have a look. All right, there's my one time through. So let's look at this now. I'm gonna see if I can do this in real time again. It worked out last time. I'm gonna take this here, actually doing it, that's right. I learned this lesson last time. Flip it all over. I'm going to take this entire layer here. Going to modify flip horizontal. Everything's flipped. Okay, great. I'll need to take all of this here, move it all over here, see if that's gonna match up. Let's see here. This was more complicated than my last one because I didn't have that symmetrical drawing. There we go. Yeah, that seemed to work out good. Yeah, I just worked on a straight flip horizontal there. All right, let's have a look how this worked out. Double cycle. Nice. Oh, that flows so well. That was the other thing about this one that took a while. I was doing some tight-ish in-betweens there. It's kind of swimmy and slow moving, and that always makes it so that there has to be more attention to the spacing, to the lines. You can't just make a really cool, funny drawing and know that it's going to animate because all the drawings are so far apart. These drawings are pretty close together. Looking at that hand, yeah, I knew that was going to be pretty slow and almost a almost an underwater kind of look here. Yeah, I'm really glad I opened that mouth too. After 7 drawings or so, I was thinking, I've got to keep that mouth open, or I've got to open the mouth because the nose is going up so high and it's just there's not gonna be that much detail on the face there. I'm glad I got that going. Nice. Oh yeah, and that foot planting on the ground. Oh, see, that worked out well. I was concerned about that curve versus the straight when it comes into the ground to go plunk, plunk, plunk there, but that worked out. All right, and the tail. Yeah, the tail worked out great. I'm really happy about that. That's terrific. Yeah, that was. I was thinking that am I leaving it for too long, bringing that tail over? But it's leading the body a little bit, but I'm okay with it because the tip of the tail is trailing, and the base of the tail is it's fine that it's leading a little. All right. Yeah, and again, I mean, there's so much more visual information now that I flipped this over. It looks like it's It looks like it's 2 seconds. It looks like it's 48 frames worth of cycles instead of 24, and it doesn't look too repetitive. And it's just that little extra bit of effort to make that cycle work, make that cycle hook up from drawing 1 to 13 with the first drawing flipped. Okay, oh boy, this is only 2 more left after this now. This is the progress I've been making on these has been terrific. I think this is going to work out well for the short film, and appreciate everybody checking it out. All right, 2 more to go. See you then. Thanks.